Hi everyone. Today we will be focusing on vocal agility. So that means we're going to do some exercises to work on control and precision, and then we'll be looking at some runs together so we can figure out how do we approach our runs? How do we break them down, understand them as a whole, understand the pattern of them, and then we will try some. And hopefully you'll finish this video with some tools that you can use when you approach your runs in your music. So let's start. So the first thing we're going to talk about are staccatos. Staccatos are short, detached notes. You see staccatos all the time in your music, but what are we doing physically to create that sound? So let's try a sh, an SH sound, as if we're shushing somebody. Shh. Try that again. Shh. What do you feel happening in your core? Shh. So for me, when I create the sound, when the air is leaving my body, my muscles are engaging. And then once I've finished making the sound, everything releases. Shh. You can think about it. If your lungs are a balloon and you were to hold the balloon in your hands and give it a little squeeze, a little burst of air would leave it. And that's kind of what we're doing for these staccatos. So if we do 3 in a row, shh, 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 I feel engage, release, engage, release, engage, release. So try a few of those and see if you can get that feeling. Now, I will say we don't want to engage so much that we get a stomach ache. It should feel comfortable. Shh, shh, shh. It's happening, but it's not overbearing. And then what we're going to do is put it to music. So the first exercise is a triad, ascending and descending. All staccatos. Try it on a brr, a BR, on a lip trill, brr, or bow, B-O, bow. So whatever one is the most accessible for you, where you can create the sound, but most importantly, you feel that engagement at the start of every note. So I'll do brr, but do what's good for you. Brr, 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 brr. Brr, 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 brr. Keep going. One more. Good. Were you able to consistently get that engagement on every single note? That's our first staccato exercise. If you need to play around with that for a moment, don't forget you can hit pause and try it out. Once you feel more or less comfortable with that, we're going to take it to a second staccato exercise. This one has a little bit more to it. It's actually very similar to the first one. The first part of this exercise is a triad, right? Then I'm just adding a little extra bit. Then I go back to the triad that we started with. Okay, so let's try that together. 3, 4. Awesome. So for this exercise, we're just going to sing with our vowels. So in the first exercise, we were starting with consonants first. That's easier. But now that we're just doing vowels, thinking about what we talked about last week, your airflow. Are you starting with your air, or is it starting from the sound? So here's 2 examples. I'll do it on an E. 2. The second one is right from there. The first one I had a little hint of air, starting every single vowel. Air before sound. So we'll go a bit slower. Let me think. Yeah, that's a good pace. 1, 2 E's, here we go. Switch to O. O. Last one. There's a lot of notes there. Things to think about. Do you have a light bounce happening in your core? Are your muscles working for you? Again, not too heavy. It should feel very comfortable. Thinking about airflow, am I starting with my air first? If this does not feel accessible for you, go back to the brr, brr, or bow. If you are doing lip trills, you will have to slow down the pace just because we need to for those. And if you need to for lip trills, remember, you can put your fingers here to help focus the air. So we're working on being very crisp and clean with our notes. As well, as staccatos are so short, you have to come in at the center of every single pitch when you sing a staccato. You don't have time to slide your way to the correct note, right? So we have to be precise and we have to be correct every single time we sing a staccato. This third exercise we'll do, it's a mix of staccato and legato. So staccato, short and detached, legato, smooth and connected. It sounds like this. So you have smooth going up by 5 notes, staccatos for 4 notes, smooth going down, then we have staccatos for 4. So we're going to feel this nice steady airflow, then staccatos, then steady airflow, then staccatos happening there. So let's start on an E vowel. 3, 4. E. If E starts to feel tight, you have 2 options. 1, the higher we go in our voices, we start to modify our vowels. So if I sing E, E, it starts to get really tight and not sounding my best. E, I'm modifying my vowel. I'm actually creating more space. My mouth shape is getting taller as I'm ascending. The higher we sing in our voices, the more space we need. An E vowel is our tightest vowel. There's not a lot of space in your mouth. We do have to modify it as we get higher in our voices. So if you're finding that an E vowel is difficult up high, ask yourself, are you creating the same mouth position? Is everything in the same shape for your E vowel up high as it is down low? Try instead your E. Your E can almost turn into an A sound as you get higher. It still sounds like an E, but that position of your mouth makes it accessible and comfortable to sing, keeps it sounding beautiful and open and round with this lovely overtone and undertones to it. See where that lands for you. You don't have to sing these exercises on an E. I personally like it. That is our third exercise. We have legato and staccato being mixed. Again, noticing this is taking a lot of attention to detail, right? It's taking a lot of coordination. Coordination with your muscles, coordination with your breath, and with the sound that you're creating. So play around with these 3 exercises and see how it feels. The idea with agility is start slow. So if these were all way too fast for you, I'm so sorry. Try them slower. Once you feel comfortable at that pace, and that you feel your muscles are working in the way that we're trying to get them to work, then you can start to increase your tempo a bit. And thinking about the breath in, ooh, maybe go back and check and go, did I take in a quick breath in that was loud? I can take in a quiet, quick breath. Thinking that you're not grasping for the air to get to these quick notes. You got it. Let the breath come in, open your mouth, it will enter. And then go. And then go for a sing. Those are our 3 staccato exercises. Now we're going to work on patterns. So I like to think that in vocal agility, we don't want to get stuck in one pattern. We want to be flexible. We want to be able to change direction and change the rhythm and not have that throw us, not have our voices feel stuck. So what I like to do, a scale has 8 pitches in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what we'll do is we'll work with some patterns and you can create your own. Thinking about 3s, 5s, 8s, and I might add a 9th in there because it sounds pretty. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we'll sing to a 5 and to an 8. First with numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So those are your pitches. Try it with numbers until you understand the pattern. Then pick a vowel, any vowel. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. We're going to start to increase our pace. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So find the pace that's good for you. From that pace that you're comfortable with, start to increase it. As you get faster and faster, let's try to keep our notes light. If I start to weigh them down, the more weight I add to my voice, the slower it will go. You'll start to slow yourself down. See if you can keep them light. Feel that beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So you feel that downbeat, but then the rest is light. If that feels comfortable, awesome. Then it's time to switch up the pattern. So now let's do 3, 5, 3. Okay? So the numbers would be 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Let's try that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Great. Let's say you did that and you felt very comfortable with the notes. We're gonna speed it up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? And you can take it faster and faster. Say you got comfortable with that. Let's switch it up. Let's do 5, 3, 8, 3. Okay? So longer phrase now. We will need more breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay? Let's do that on a vowel of your choice. A little bit faster. 3, 4. And I can keep mixing up these number combinations. Let's finish it off with a 3, 5, 9. Okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, try that 2 and O. 1, 2, here we go. Oh. A little faster, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Good. So those are our exercises. We have staccatos. We have all this body work we talked about with staccatos. Then we have smooth legato runs where you can throw in different patterns, different rhythms, and really keep yourself on your toes so you're not stuck in one lane. So you feel flexible and ready for all of the runs that come your way. Okay, so we're going to do some runs. The first run we'll look at is from Vivaldi's Gloria. It's from the soprano aria. It's really beautiful. I'm kind of hoping you don't know it so that this is new material and will be all new information for you. So somewhere on this screen I will figure out how to put the sheet music, like, I don't know where, but it'll be there. Measure 28. We're just going to do this run here, and I'll play it. It's in the key of C. I'm going to transpose it so that it doesn't feel so high for all of you altos and basses. Awesome. That's the first run, starting at measure 28 on the third beat. We are in 12/8 time here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. 4 beats, but every beat receives 3 pulses. The first thing I do when I have a run is I play it and I look at it, and that's what we just did. Now we have to figure out what's the pattern, what's the shape, and what's its purpose. Where is it taking us in the music? Where is it taking us in the phrase? So let's look at that. I have taking us to where we have a cadence. A cadence happens at the end of a phrase. It makes it sound resolved and complete and final. If you're a theory person, it's generally going from a dominant to a tonic. It sounds done. So that run, its goal is to take us all the way to the cadence. First thing, I see a repetition. I see repeat. Right? That is exactly the same, but it has a little at the end. Let's say the whole run is one large phrase. Then I'm taking a step in a little bit closer and I'm looking and I see that there is a repetition. I see phrase 1A and we'll call it phrase 1B. So phrase 1A, that phrase ends sounding really open. It doesn't sound final. It sounds like more is about to happen. And it does. We have phrase 1B. Still sounds open, so they add, which sounds close. It sounds like the phrase came to an end there. Okay, so I see phrase 1A, phrase 1B. Then I take a step closer and I go, oh cool, there's this little motive, this musical idea that's recurring. A motive is a musical idea that's recurring. It can be through notes or a rhythm. So dun 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 dun, 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, hold, right? We all know that. That is a motive and it recurs throughout the whole movement and in fact the whole symphony. Let's see, I see a little pattern where we go up a third, then down a step, then 3 notes in succession, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it happens again. Measure 29, up a third, down a step. I have the 3 notes moving in the same direction, but this time instead of going down, it goes up. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So on a smaller scale, I go, oh cool, here's this little motive, up a third, down a step, 3 notes moving in the same direction. So let's hear that. 1, 2, 3, up a third, 1, 2, 3. Again, up a third, 1, 2, 3, up a third, 1, 2, 3. Then we finish off with a 1, 2, 3, the second half of that little motive. So I've now looked at the phrase as a whole, 2 little sections, phrase 1A and phrase 1B, and then I've looked even closer and seen this little pattern. All of a sudden, this run makes sense to me. I understand where it's going, what its purpose is, and how to sing it. Let's try. We'll do it on an ah vowel. Let me finish it off. Yeah. Beautiful. So let's go to the second run that is on the same page, and it starts at measure 32 on beat 3. I'll play the whole thing through. It takes us to the cadence. Do you hear that? It really drives us forward and propels us to the cadence. I love this phrase. I think it's so beautiful. So again, I look at it on a large scale. I see the whole thing as one long phrase taking me to the cadence. Now, take a step in. What is the pattern I see at measure 33? We have down a third, then up a step, then a leap up, then down. Okay, so that's pattern 1. It reoccurs, but starting on B instead of A. Then it reoccurs, and this time starting on C. So 3 reiterations of the same pattern. They all just happen to start 1 pitch higher every time. Starting at measure 33, 3, 2, 3, 4, and isn't that so pretty? Then we have this new pattern. We sing, pattern 2 prime. It's similar, but not quite, because it's going to take us to this cadence that's about to happen. We have ah, ah. Okay, so that is this second run. So I wanted to point something out that's really cool. Classical music has a lot of rules that the composers followed as well. So the idea was, if you were writing a melody and the melody leapt in one direction, it has to change direction by step. So starting at measure 33, we have a leap down. So I have to go up by step, which I do. Then I have a leap up. So I have to change direction and go down by step. Then I have a leap down and I go up by step. A leap up, so I go down by step. Leap down, so I go up by step. Leap up, so I go down by step. And then it gives it this beautiful shape. And that is so cool. The other neat thing that I'm going to share is that because this is a Baroque piece, the melody is actually always working in duet with the bass line of the music. So listen to what happens when I just play these harmonies. It actually changes the way we hear the run, the way we'll sing the run, and it'll change the forward momentum that'll occur. So what I'll do is play it really slowly so you can hear it. Not because I need to play it slowly because of my piano skills. It's not the reason at all. So starting on measure 33, we have That sounds so beautiful. Listen to the chromatics and how the chromatics change the phrase and how it propels you forward. A chromatic is a raised or lowered pitch that's not of the key signature. So we have, hear that chromatic? And it makes you want to go forward. I must resolve it, so I go to the second part of the pattern. A chromatic, I must resolve, so I go to the third part of the pattern. And then we get to that second pattern. Isn't that so cool? That sounds so beautiful. So, whoa, crazy idea. Listening while you're singing is actually a really good and important thing. We're always, whether we're singing in choir with a group of people, we should be listening. Whether we're singing a solo, we should be listening. We're always in duet with all of the other instruments. Okay, so we've looked at 2 runs from Vivaldi. We've gone large scale and worked our way to small scale. What are the patterns we see? How can we understand and analyze the run so that we can get it in our bodies, get it in our brains, and shape it the way it's meant to be shaped? Now, we are going to switch to Bach, and there are a lot of notes in this one. Here we go. We will not start it fast. I'm going to play through it. I'm going to break it down for you and show you how my brain understands the pattern, and this could be interpreted in different ways. And then I'll give you some tools that you can try on your own to work towards getting these runs up to tempo, feeling light, easy, agile, and free. So we start on an A in the bass. Here we go. If you heard all of those notes and were like, it's a lot. The whole run is taking us to the cadence. At the end, we have da 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 da. I can't sing the low. Da 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 da. Right? What's that? Sounds very final. So that's its goal. That's its overall purpose. One long phrase. Let's look at a smaller scale. This is how my brain broke it down. The first measure, I'm going to call it my prep measure. And what's happening is I'm going up 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then descending for the 6th note, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now jump to measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where I also called it a prep. Can you notice how these measures are actually kind of the same thing? This one goes, we go down to start, but then we go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? First measure, 5th measure, they're the same thing, they're just inverted. Measure 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, same idea, we go down a step, then up 5 notes. So I'm calling those my prep measures. Then we go to measure 2, and this is where the pattern starts. We'll call it pattern 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the next measure, exact same. The next measure, I'm calling it pattern 1 prime. It's almost the exact same. We change the final note because it's going to bring you into the next phase of this run. Okay, so starting at measure 1, I have the prep, pattern 1, pattern 1, pattern 1 prime. Then I leap up. Now we have lots of dogs. Excuse me. Where was I? Okay, so we did the prep measure, pattern 1. Then we go into the second prep measure, pattern 2, which is pattern 2 prime. I'm calling it prime because it's basically the same as pattern 2. We're just going down for that final note because it's going to propel us and bring us into the next phase of the run. So we have the prep measure, pattern 3, pattern 3 prime. It's the same, but we have a chromatic here because we're actually modulating to D major there. So that is how I broke down the pattern of this full run. This makes sense. I understand where I'm going. I understand my purpose. Awesome. Hopefully you feel the same way. So really quickly, let's say we know the notes of our run. Now, how do we get that agility back in there? Just like we did with our exercises, mix it up. Legato, staccato, triplets, swung. Change the rhythm up so that you can ensure you know these notes through and through. So for example, let's say I wanted to work on this run. I'm going to sing them all as staccatos because I'm testing to see if I know that I can sing the center of every single pitch. On an O, you can go. You can sing it legato. You can sing it swung. You can sing it the opposite. You can sing it in triplets. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is changing where we feel the accent in the measure. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And you can go along that way. And go all the way through it. So try these different ideas. You get a run, you break it down and figure out the pattern, make sense of it, what makes sense for your brain. Then try to learn all of the notes. But then see how well you really know it. Throw yourself off balance so you don't feel stuck in the pattern, you don't feel stuck in a lane. You're open, flexible, and agile for whatever might come your way. Change up the rhythm, try it as staccatos, change up your pacing of it. Sometimes this sounds totally backwards, but sometimes you can get so comfortable with a run that you can only sing it really quickly. And if you have to slow it down, you'll discover you're actually not singing all of the notes. You might be kind of gliding over some. So take these ideas, maybe find some runs that are in your music, either upcoming or ones that you've done in the past, maybe from the Messiah, that you think you know really well, and test out all of these ideas. Do you know those runs as well as you thought you did? Maybe you're struggling with one. Test out these ideas. Maybe you'll be able to sing it wonderfully and it'll make sense in just a few weeks. So I hope you learned something. That's our vocal agility class. Take the time, write down any discoveries, any thoughts, and we'll talk about it over Zoom. Okay, bye.